Hello everyone, you're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through top news across Canada. Camp counselor who allegedly filmed 6-year-old in washroom was in the hiring process to become police officer. Owner arrested after dog attack in Toronto's East End that was captured on video. Citing spike in hate, Pride Orgs calls for action, safety plan from Ontario government. 5 people caught on video throwing objects at Mississauga house sought by police. City investigating conduct of employee who pushed protester with car at High Park. Suspect in custody after woman stabbed in Brampton, police. 138 stolen vehicles worth more than $9 million recovered by Windsor Police in international auto theft investigation. These were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. One suspect is in custody after a woman was stabbed in Brampton early Thursday morning, Peel Regional Police say. It happened shortly before 5 a.m. at a residence in the area of Vanderbrink Drive and Sugarcane Avenue located near Tobram Road and Sandalwood Parkway East. Police said a female victim suffered stab wounds and was taken to a local hospital for treatment. Her injuries are not believed to be life-threatening, paramedics told Awaz News. One male suspect, who police said is known to the victim, was arrested shortly after the incident. Police are asking for public's help identifying 5 people captured on security video throwing objects at a home in Mississauga late last month. The video released on Thursday begins with individuals on their bicycles and a scooter standing in front of the house in the vicinity of Lone Park. One of them goes around a tree holding what appears to be a flashlight as the other 4 sprint toward the front lawn. They then throw objects at the residents before running back to their bicycles and scooter and flee the area. The incident happened just before 4 a.m. on July 25th. Police said the objects thrown caused the front window to break and alarmed the homeowners. It is unclear why the house was targeted by the individuals. Police are asking anyone with the information on the case or any related incidents in the Lorne Park area to call investigators at 905-453-2121 extension 1133 or Peel Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. A coalition of Ontario Pride organizations called on the province Thursday to urgently work with them to develop a proactive safety plan to beat back a rising tide of anti-LGBTQ hate. Leaders from 5 Pride organizations from Thunder Bay to Ottawa said that in the absence of consistent funding and provincial support, Pride festivals are struggling against what some called unprecedented levels of hate. We can't keep up this amount of hate, North Bay Pride's Jason McLennan said at a news conference Thursday. We are out of options and our government needs to step up. The groups joined by NDP MPP Kristen Wong Tam called on the province to meet the LGBTQ representatives to develop a proactive safety plan, saying one-time limited funding was not enough. They also called for the government to restore funding to provincial festival grant program they claim was cut in the latest budget. McLennan said North Bay Pride's festival received about $109,000 in funding from the province last year, but the festival received no money this year. The funding changes were also having an effect in Ottawa, which is set to hold Pride events latest this month, said Capital Pride Executive Director Toby Whitfield. The coalition's calls come amid a sharp rise in the reported hate incidents targeting the LGBTQ community. The latest Statistics Canada data indicate police across Canada reported 491 hate-motivated incidents targeting sexual orientation last year, more than double the annual average over the previous 10 years. Since not all hate incidents are reported to police, researchers note the data often vastly underestimate the threat facing targeted communities. Those speaking at Thursday's news conference referenced the stabbings in the late June at the University of Waterloo Gender Studies class, where the professor and 2 students were injured in what police called a hate-motivated attack. Meanwhile, vandalization and theft of pride flags have made headlines across Ontario in recent months, while drag events have drawn significant protests. For the first time in 10 years, Fiat Timmins Pride founder Julie Norbert Demarche said the organization felt compelled to come up with a comprehensive safety plan for this year's festival, using already stretched resources to hire private security for an all-ages drag event. The group's backed private members bill put forward earlier this year by Wong Tam, the NDP's critic, for 2SL LGBTQ+ issues. If passed, the bill would give the Attorney General power to temporarily establish community safety zones around venues hosting LGBTQ events and levy hefty fines for harassment and hate speech. The group said continued support and investment in pride festivals also made economic sense for the government, citing the economic windfall they can generate for communities. Police in Windsor, Ontario have arrested 23 people and laid nearly 300 charges following an international auto theft investigation that led to the recovery of 138 stolen vehicles worth more than $9 million. The investigation, dubbed Project Fairfield, was initiated by the Windsor Police Service in April of last year, and Ontario Provincial Police joined WPS as an investigative partner in September. The investigation culminated in the execution of 14 search warrants late last month at locations in Windsor, Peel Region, York Region, and Toronto. Police say that in early December of last year, investigators stopped a known stolen rear-end vehicle on Highway 401 near Kingston, Ontario. This traffic stop resulted in the seizure of illicit drugs, including 914 synthetic opioids tablets. The synthetic opioids tablets were pressed to appear as legitimate oxycodone pills, the press release read. This initial stop and seizure led to further arrests over the course of investigation, police say. The City of Toronto is investigating the conduct of one of its employees, who was seen pushing his vehicle into a protester at High Park on Wednesday night. In a video of the incident, a man is seen slowly driving his vehicle into a woman who is blocking the roadway at the Bloor Street entrance, where dozens of people had gathered for a rally protesting council-approved changes to limit car access to High Park. The woman who was taking part in counter-protest was standing in a lane of traffic and holding a sign that read "Ban Cars" as she was pushed several feet by the vehicle. At one point, the driver got out of his car, pulled off his shirt, and got into a verbal confrontation with another protester. Police, firefighters, and paramedics arrived at the scene a short time later, and the gates to the Bloor Street entrance were closed. In an email to Awaz News, the city confirmed that the man in the video is in fact employed with the City of Toronto and added that investigation will be conducted to take appropriate action. In a letter sent to Mayor, local councillor, and Chief of Police, lawyer and cycling advocate David Shelnut said that a clear message must be sent from the city about the employee's actions. He added that the incident illustrates exactly why Toronto needs a car-free High Park. The High Park movement strategy has been met with both praise and criticism from Toronto residents. Drivers will also only be allowed to drive through the 400-acre park on weekdays excluding holidays. They will, however, still be able to access High Park at all times for the Children's Garden at Colborne Lodge Drive and the Spring Road parking lot. At Wednesday's rally, which was organized by Group High Park Access for All, protesters said the changes could negatively impact vulnerable groups, including seniors, families with children, and individuals with limited mobility. For some of us, we would like this stopped and like to have everything reconsidered and re-evaluated, and all the different community groups that are being affected by this consulted because we weren't, one woman at the park told Awaz News. A message displayed on one of the signs held by the counter-protesters read, "No cars is more accessible." A Mississauga camp counselor charged with child pornography-related offences after allegedly filming a 6-year-old in a washroom was in the process of being hired as a police officer, according to Peel Regional Police. He was in the hiring process, which we have since terminated, Sergeant Sarah Patton told reporters on Thursday, but he was never employed with PRP. Police say that the alleged offence took place at MC Day Camp in the Lakeshore Road East and Ontario Street area between December of last year and this month. Police say the 6-year-old victim was filmed while in a state of undress. The male counsellor has been a volunteer at MC Day Camp since 2018 June, according to police. Alexander Clark, 26, of Mississauga, has been arrested and charged with voyeurism, possession of child pornography, making child pornography, and making available child pornography. He was held for a bail hearing, according to police. Police say they have been in contact with numerous parents of children who have attended MC Day Camp, and investigators are asking that they provide pictures of their children to assist police in identifying any additional victims. Patton says that investigators will be looking at all possible avenues when it comes to identifying victims dating back to when the accused first became a counselor at the camp. Patton says that police were made aware of the allegations against the accused when the 6-year-old victim went to their parents, who then contacted police. An East York woman was seriously injured after being mauled by a dog near her home over the weekend, and the animal's owner is now facing criminal charges in connection with the incident. It happened at around 9:30 p.m. on Sunday on Mortimer Avenue, a few blocks east of Greenwood Avenue. Video of the incident, which was captured by doorbell camera at a nearby residence and provided to Awaz News, shows a dog chasing at least one individual across the street and back. Screams are audible throughout the video. At one point, you can hear someone pleading for help, with the sounds of growling dog still audible in the background. The victim, who is identified as Kara, spoke to Awaz News this week about the ordeal and what led up to it. Worried that the animal would run into the street and get hit, and equally concerned for their own safety, Kara said that she and her friend both stopped in the tracks and didn't get any closer to the dog. She said at that point, a woman with a black or dark-colored dog on a leash came out of the building. She said that the loose dog bit her from behind and then knocked her down and pulled her to the ground before biting her several more times. Kara said she somehow managed to get back on her feet and started trying to run away while yelling for help. The off-leash dog, meanwhile, continued to bite her as she fled, she said. Kara was able to get into the vehicle and driver rushed over the Michael Garron Hospital, where she said that she received several staples and got stitches in her head, neck, back and leg. Now on crutches and barely able to get around, Kara told Awaz News that she expects to have a long recovery that will likely include surgery.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.